What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project. This is a 1969 off-road Dodge Charger, looking absolutely wild and wonderful. I love it. It's got 314,000 kilometers on it, so definitely something that's worth switching around and changing it into a bit of an off-roader there. We got this one from the auction house as per normal. It's in pretty bad condition, but we've definitely seen worse. Did we get a good deal? Absolutely not. I bought it for 16,695 and could sell it for 15,154, losing out on 1,541. Lots of the same numbers in there. Threw me off a little bit. The engine in it is the V8 Hemi, a 446 pack, and that is what we're going to keep in it. I was tempted to swap in one of the Ford small blocks, but that would be sacrilege, so I opted against it. We're going to keep the Hemi 446 pack in there with its 376 factory horsepower. Obviously, we're going to be tuning that as much as we possibly can before taking this absolute monster onto the gravel track today to see if we can beat out that Audi Quattro VM Rally with a flying lap of 141.676. Do you think we'll be able to get under the 141 today with our beautiful off-road Dodge Charger? I certainly hope so. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to taking this over to the gravel track and having a bit of fun with it. No special liveries for this one today, just the liveries that come with the mod from Payne. Looking fantastic, so we'll see which ones we can add. I'm thinking of going a black-red. If that's what's in the thumbnail, do let me know if that's what I ended up sticking with. We shall find out as we go along. I may change my mind. Also, competition is currently running to build a Litz BMW M4. It's a bit cool. Love to see what you guys come up with. The sort of theme for this one is like a road trip or a gumball rally style, but you really can do whatever you want with it. It's just a base theme to give you some ideas. So make sure you join us on Discord for that. Link in the description below. It is the Red Dot Games official Discord server. But anyway, let's get into this beautiful off-road Dodge Charger. Let's get this beast over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash then with our Charger, and it doesn't look that bad. It looks like mostly rust on there, so let's get you cleaned if I could press the right button. There we go. We can already see it's this jumpy game. Lovely sort of teal blue. Definitely not sticking with that. I feel like I want to go with something darker for this one today. A little bit meaner, which is why I'm thinking about murdering it all out. Maybe with some red stripes down here at the back. Maybe. We shall see. But let's get the interior done. Let's get this beast back on the lifter. Get the engine ripped out of there. I'm sure there is an engine in there. Get the engine ripped out and start getting everything else stripped down. The off-road Charger's in the air. Check for the oil pan. And it does look like the oil pan and a complete engine in there. Always good, and I like to see that. So let's see if this was looked after. Probably not. Not bad, actually. Only a little sliver, but I've definitely seen worse oils. Now, this is four-wheel drive, so we do have a front suspension to connect up along with a rear, which doesn't look like anything's lined up. But we're going to go, let's have a look underneath, actually. Does anything? No, it does all just hang. So that's not lined up, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Sometimes these things happen. It can be quite difficult to do. This one here, impossible to do because it's a fixed position. This one here, I'm a little bit disappointed in you, Payne, I'll be honest. But there we go. 2 drive shafts missing. So we add them to our basket. Let's get this starter out of here. And then this big old chunky gearbox out as well, along with some of the exhaust. Is there any other exhaust? No, that is literally just it. So out you come there, and out you come. Do we need these next parts as well? I'm going to guess we do. So out you come and out you come. Nice and easy. There we go. Let's get you back down on the ground, or towards the ground, and get that beautiful 446 pack Hemi ripped out of there. Ready to strip everything down. Did we get everything? We did. That's what I like. Nice and easy. Get that crane put away. Let's have a look at our engine bay. Are we missing anything? Doesn't look like we're missing anything. And also, thank you to Multiply, who has fixed my battery issue with these rods not bolting up anymore. Thank you very much for that. It was a nice, easy fix. I'm just glad to see you took care of it. Thank you. Anyway, back onto this. It doesn't look like we've got anything missing in the engine bay. So we got a fuse box just up here. Let's just take the lid off of that. Wishy-washy reservoir. Coolant inside the radiator. Then we've got the power steering reservoir, the brake servo, and our lovely battery with a fuel tank and fuel pump just down the back. So let's get some of this drained out. Right click, additional tools, drain tool, click on hold on the container. We're going with the radiator first, and it will drain it all out. We're going to get the rest of this all stripped down, get the engine stripped and ready to go back together. And then when we come back, it'll be time to sort out the bodywork on this beautiful off-road Dodge Charger. That's all the mechanicals repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on this beautiful off-road Charger. But let's start tearing what's left of this bodywork down. What have we even got here? That's a front end. We need to get you off. That looks to be it for there. Off with the door. Is the interior a piece? No, that looks like it's just part of the bodywork. Rear left fender, out you come. Car part 2. Wow, that was the whole rear end. Okay, I like that. There we go. Out with that. Is this a piece? Just built in. Just built in. Just built in. The rest of that looks like it's just built in. I saw something there, but it might have just been the wheel. Let's get out the seat. Out you come. Nice and simple. And now is that everything? If we go into the car status screen, I don't want to be there. 1% there. Engine cover and car part 3F. Engine. Oh, is that this little piece here? Yeah, there we go. There's the engine cover. Now we need to figure out what is car part 3F. Should we just go into the body shop? We're going to check the body shop anyway, so let's just have a quick look for 3F. That is the exhaust, so let's go and get you out. Oh, side pipes. There we go. Nice and simple. Nice little side pipe exhaust. That's all of that. So let's just go back in and continue checking out this body shop. We have checked it out before, so I'm just going to cover it very briefly. Car part 2 is that beautiful rear bumpers we've got going on down there. Car part 1 is the fuel door, wherever that may be. We'll figure that one out. Then we've obviously got all the exhaust, different engine covers. We're not going to use one of these ones. We don't need them. We're just going to go for the standard engine cover on there. Then we've got the front bumpers with wraparound as well. Lots of different options on there with a slip and things like that. So we've got to figure out which one's going to be best. Then we've got the clamshells, which is just a little lip on the front. So we don't use one with a lip if we're going to use that. But we'll see what this one's meant to have. Then the front end, just the grille and things like that. Looking pretty cool. We'll see which ones. Doors, lots of different options for doors. Do we have anything specifically for like off-road? Doesn't look like it. So we'll just figure out that as we go. Then we've got the front windows. Then we got the front fenders. Now we want obviously the off-road flares on there. Very specific for that one, which we like. Doors, windows, fenders for the other side. Hoods, anything specific? Doesn't look like it, but again, they are labeled for what they can go with, so make sure you pay attention to that. So we'll see that one. Then we've got lots of different options for the headlights, depending on which style you want to go for. Tail lights exactly the same. A couple of mirror options as well. I quite like this one, but we shall see. Then we've got the additional rear bumper going on there. Then all the roofy type pieces, so we'll just figure out which one's meant to be on there and see what we've got going on. Maybe colour match the interior, because I know some of them have got different colours in. Then the rear fenders, obviously the off-road flares on there. Nice and simple. Rear window and spoiler option. Maybe. We shall see. More headlights, some more tail lights, more mirrors. Trunks, lots of different trunk options. And then some windshields in there as well. That's what we like. Let's get this welder brought over. Where are we with the frame? The frame's at 14%. And I bought the car for 16. I've been going way low on these, so I'm going to go 1,100. 1,500. There we go. Not far off on that one today. We're going to get that sorted, get all the body panels repaired, get this one all back together, and then into the paint shop. Time to get this beautiful off-road Charger all back together. I'm pretty sure we've got everything, so let's start getting it on. Obviously, those off-road flared fenders looking absolutely fantastic. For the hood, we did actually keep it as it was. It looks quite nice on there. The front end, we went for an alternative one, the front end E. It just looks a little bit darker, and we are going to try and take some of this chrome out a little bit later on if we can, maybe. Then we've gone for the 69 Charger lights, the C's. No text on either side, just fitting in. And then for the front clamshell, we went with the clamshell B, which is just a little bit darker. It's just got a bit of darker trim around the lights there. Get rid of some of that chrome effect. The front bumper, we went for the C front bumper, which is just a straight up painted one, so we can get it all matched in, hopefully with that body colour a little bit later on. On with the clamshell D, painted trim, no text. You can get it with Charger or RT and stuff on there. We didn't want any of that. Windshield, just the standard windshield. And the door, the ones that come on it say with the Hemi badge. I just deleted the Hemi badge and went for the painted door trim on there. So this is all going to blend up as well. Hopefully looking good. Also painted on the windows, so we can get that bit murdered out in black as well, potentially. Then we went for them mirrors because they look pretty awesome. The body window is just the body window, and obviously these fenders are the off-road flares. Looking very nice on there. Let's just get the other side all in, up to the same spot and ready to go. In you go, in you go, on you go, and then on with that big old fender. For the fuel door, we went for car part 1D. Just looks pretty good. I like it. Rear window, just the rear window. Trunk, we went for some trunk pins on there. Hopefully I can take the chrome out of them. But if we can't, hopefully be the only bit of chrome on the body. For the rear end, or whatever this piece is called, we went for the 2D, which takes away the RT text in the middle there. Gives it a bit more darker trim or painted trim around the edges, getting rid of some of that chrome. Rear bumper, painted to match in with the front. And then the tail lights are the B lights, which, you know, go with all of them parts. Just look pretty fitting and pretty apt in there. Looking nice. Got some exhaust to go on. Let's just get these. I went for black ones, keeping up with our theme. We do have an engine cover to put on, but I'm going to pick the rear license plate, which is off-road V8, slightly abbreviated on a road because, yeah, there's not enough letters. Let's just get this hood opened. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So we can just put that little engine cover in there. There we go. Nice and simple. Then we can get the front plate on. Easy as we go. Same as the back. Off-road V8. And now let's go into the interior. And I'm excited by this. So let's just get the steering wheel on. I've gone for steering wheel 8. Just a bit more rugged, bit more fitting for an off-roader. And then the seats, they might look a little bit smaller than they did originally. That's because I've fiddled around with them a little bit jiggery-pokery to make these beautiful Recaro seats from Multiply fit in this beast pretty well. If we just go into photo mode, I hope it's not going to jump me around a little bit. And we go in, they do fit quite nicely in there. Oh, not too shabby at all. Pleased with them. Not much clipping, and there's no clipping from the underside. And if we take our window out so we can sit in, we're at quite a nice ride height as well for this off-road beast. So that's what we've gone for. Again, probably add some colour to them seats. We're going to play around a little bit with the bodywork, try and make it look as good as we can. But first things first, is that everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. It is. So let's get this beast into the paint shop. I'm going to play around a little while in there, get it just so I like it, and we'll see what you guys think when we come back in just a moment. I won't lie to you, I think I went a little bit over the top with the red accents. I did no livery on this one today. The car is just in a matte black, but what we've done is we've gone in with a quality of life mod and painted all the fenders so that they're black and red using the quality of life mod. This front end is painted so that it's black and, or steel black and red. No, it's not. It's just black and red on the front end there. The headlights are painted so that they're just in black, so we get rid of all that chrome trim around the edge there. Looking pretty nice. Fenders we've already dealt with. Mirrors are painted so that they are black and red. You can see that little bit of black on the plate just underneath. The trunk was painted so the pins are in black. Everything red. Everything else is in black. Got a little bit of red around that. And then obviously a little bit of red on this rear end here. I don't know what's quite going on there. What's that on? That looks like it's on the bumper. Let's just take that bumper off a second. And let's go paint that bumper. Where have you gone, bumper? Because I want to see what's going on there. You look like you were showing up with something else on you. Just want to go into this matte black colour I've already been using. That looks to be sorted. We won't add anything else on it. There we go. Let's put that back on and see if that got rid of that. It might have been because I did try the livery at first and didn't take it off. There we go. That's fixed that issue. No problem at all. Plate back on. There we go. Now, as for these Recaro seats, looking fantastic. We went for just a straight up black and red. I could have kept some of the white in the trim pieces there, but I think it looks fantastic in just a straight up black and red there. And also a little bit of black and red on that steering wheel. If we just take a seat, it's looking quite tasty in here. I'm liking that. There we go. That's enough of that. Let's just swing around to the engine bay, take a quick look. Little bits of the red splashing up through onto the inside. I'm liking that. And then for the engine, it is just going to be solid black and red, mostly black, just with a few splashes of red on there. We'll see how we turn out. This is the Quality of Life mod red, so it might be quite hard to match that one in. It is a very bright colour, so we'll see what we do when we end up with some red accents a little bit later on. But there we go. Let's get this beast back on the lifter, and let's get everything painted and start getting this one all back together. There we go. That's everything painted on the beautiful Dodge Charger. Looking stunning in that matte black with a little splash of red. Might have got a bit over the top, but there we go. Shocks today. We've gone black shocks, red springs, and black caps, but you all probably saw that coming. Looking pretty fantastic. Let's jump in at the rear because we've got the TKAftermarket rear suspension with this rear housing on here today. And if we nip around to the back, we've got a pinion bearing that needs to go in there, a rear diff pinion gear with another pinion bearing in there. Then we've got that differential on the top with a 2 bearing catch. Just holding it in place. In you go. And in you go there. Then we've got the rear diff cover in a black. Keeping up with that two-tone theme. Looking pretty nice. Swing around to the front of that. And we've got that rear diff pinion flange in there as well. That finishes that off. We'll come back to the rest of that a little bit later. Let's just come out of there. I was going to try and slide, but it was taking too long. And then the other thing to get us started is this front drive axle, which we've also got in the red. So now let's get on with some little clips of this all going in and back together, looking fantastic. And I'll see you all in just a moment. That's half the suspension all finished. What do you think of the little clips video, getting it all in? Takes a little while to make, but I absolutely love it. I think it looks fantastic. But there we go. Lots of red, little splash of black, keeping the Brumbo brakes in their original red colour on there. Even alternating some of the rubber bushings so it doesn't blend in too much. It didn't get too much red just there or too much red just there. Looking nice at the front. If I could get up there at all ever, you're going to let me? There we go. Caliper, we can see it. Pretty much the same, mostly in the red with a few splashes of black just finishing it off. Looking absolutely fantastic. Looking very, very nice. Let's get back down the back, though. He says, can we get there, please? Thank you very much. Long cars, sometimes difficult to work with. Fuel tank in a lovely little steel black on there. And then the fuel pump just in the normal. I lied. The fuel tank isn't in steel black. All the other blacks around here are steel black. This is in a matte black. There we go. And the fuel pump just in a cheeky little red. So now we're going to crack on and get the other side of the suspension all finished. Come back, sort out all of this lovely engine bay before going and building that beautiful Hemi V8. Personally, I think that black and red suspension looks absolutely fantastic. Did I go too over the top with it? I personally don't think so. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But let's crack on. Let's get this engine bay all sorted. Starting with the wishy-washy reservoir, the power steering reservoir, and the brake servo. Then if we nip up to this big old school radiator, we've done that one in a red, but as you can see, it's much darker red because these are all fully paintable, quality of life mode option. There we go. This one, if you do that, you lose all the little detailing on the front of the grille. So we didn't do that one. We've left it in its normal finish, I guess. The battery tray is in a cheeky red. Then we've obviously got that AGM performance battery in there. And then the bracket on top is also in red, with these lovely chrome rods just in a bit of chrome black. And again, thank you, Multiplier, for fixing this for me so that the battery actually bolted back up again. Absolutely love it. So good. But there we go. Not much in this engine bay. You can't see the fuse box from anywhere. The only coloured bits are really on the battery and on that radiator, plus a few of these little extra red accents dotted in. They're looking very nice. But let's go and build this beautiful Hemi. In we go. Now, the block itself is actually in red, with steel black as an alternate colour, just set up so that the red parts are in there, even in the top, looking absolutely fantastic. Already got the cam gear and the timing chain on. The heads are almost finished. They're mostly in a red on the outside with a bit of steel black just for good measure. Same on both sides. And the oil pans also in a black. So let's get on and get these heads all finished off. We've got one extra spark plug to go in there. 4 on either side, 8 in total. I'm going to keep saying it. Then we've got the valve push rods. 1 extra in here, so that's 8 on either side, so 16 in total, with the rocker arm cover to go on top. Just 2 of these, 1 on either side. Looking nice. In you go. Then that's it. You could crack on and do the heads, but we're not. We're going to come onto the front and get this timing cover on. In you go. In red, but we do have a splash of that steel black just underneath where the black crankshaft pulley is going to sit. The water pump itself is in red, but it's black and red, mostly in black on this one, going over the top of that timing cover. Just with a few splashes of red on the outside to finish it off. Water pump pulley, just in a black, but both arms are in red. We've got plenty of red going on in this engine. It's looking lovely. I really do enjoy this one. Oil filter, just in a cheeky black down here, but it does sit on that red plate. Then we've got the power steering pump in a black and red. Not very much red on this one, just that centerpiece there, and a little bit down on that connection. Alternator is also in black and red. Just a lot more red visible on that one. Looking good. The belts are blacked out as per usual. We've kept the matte to go in with the matte theme. And then the radiator fan is in that beautiful steel black on the top. All the blacks on this engine, by the way, are steel black, which is used with the Quality of Life mod. So if you want to replicate it, you're going to need that one. Then we got ignition coil. I haven't painted this one again today because it's already got black and red in there with a little splash of white, looking nice. And then if we go to the ignition distributor, that is red and black, mostly in black on there. Rotor not painted because it's going to be covered by the distribution cap, which has also got black and red. Looking good. Then just a couple of black clips on the outside to finish that off. Looking very nice. The head covers on this one, they are just in that steel black. I was, again, thinking about the carbon fibre, but I thought carbon was a little bit too much. So we just went with that steel black on there, looking good. Then we got the intake manifold, which is in the red. Yes, the bright red going up through the middle, looking absolutely fantastic. Looks like that's all one piece connecting in. Lovely. Then we got these beautiful carbs. These are in steel black and red, and I think they've come out beautifully. Plenty of black on this one. In you go with all the little accents on them, just coming out in that lovely little red, keeping it all separated, looking fantastic. Fuel filter, just in the black for a change. Then we got the air filter base, which is black. The air filter itself, which is obviously its performance red, and then the cover on top, also in that black. It might have been a little bit much in the red, so we left it just in a black there, looking good. The ignition wires are also in a red, keeping up with that theme, looking very nice. And then the last bits to go on are just these exhaust manifolds, which are in that steel black. And yes, the rest of the exhaust is on steel black, including the side pipes poking out the side that we've already seen, because they're on the car. I can't quite see them from here, but never mind. Let's just get that all bolted up. In you go, and in you go. And that should be everything for this 446-pack Hemi. So let's get it off the stand and get it dropped into our beautiful off-road Charger. In you go. How are you going to look? Let's take a peek. Plenty of black, and in fact, if we stand here, it looks like it's almost just a blacked out engine bay. As you go in, you get plenty of splashes of that red coming up through. Let's just go into photo mode. We can lose some of the outlines and see it a bit clearer. We're going to go up here, turn the torch on. Maybe not full brightness. We'll go just to there. Second torch. We're going to come off of that just so we can see it a little clearer. Looking good in there. Very dark. Just kind of how I liked it, but plenty of red. Just keeping it all popping and looking fantastic. There we go. Torch off. Close you. Let's get underneath it and get this gearbox drive shafts and a little bit of exhaust in as well, just for good measure. Too big, can't get underneath. There we go. First time I've ever said that. Gearbox, in you go in the black and red. Looking nice. Mostly black, just a couple of splashes of that red on there. The starter is in red. Exactly the same as last time. It fits the colour of the build. Then we got these sections all in black on the exhaust. And then the front exhaust pipes are in black and red. Just that little sheathing in the red, just to keep it exciting and something a bit different. Now, I do believe, it does look like you can see it, the actual side pipe exhausts do connect in, which is fantastic. Two drive shafts just in a cheeky black. Can I even click on it? There we go. On you go. We'll get you bolted up, even though you aren't connected. Bit disappointing, but there we go. Sometimes these things happen. And that's one of the reasons why we kept them black, because you shouldn't be able to see it, really, from the underside. As we go and take a walk out, you see the side pipe's exhaust coming out. And you can't really tell that that's not connected too much unless we highlight it. So there we go. That's all of it. Looking pretty fantastic. We're going to get you back on the ground. We've got to go windows tinted, liquids topped up, some beautiful wheels done, and then get this Dodge Charger outside in the sun. All finished with the black and red off-road Dodge Charger. Looking fantastic. Loving that matte black with the red accents around the outside. It is looking very, very nice. What do you think? Do make sure to let me know in the comments. Let's talk about these rims, though. I've gone for the rim 1A. Obviously, I used it a couple of times. I especially like it on an off-roader. I think it's a very fitting style. The rims themselves, they're a 20-inch rim with a 255 width and a 55 profile on there with ET of 35 to bring them out. And it is the same on all four corners, so we don't need to go through that again. So it's 20-inch rim, 255 width, 55 profile, and an ET of 35 on there. Looking so nice. Very, very pleased with that. Let's jump in. Loving these new Recaro seats added in by Multiply. Taking advantage of the TKAftermarket mod. Looking very nice in the black and red. Inside is looking beautiful in here. Excellent work by Payne as always. But let's get this Hemi started. See what she sounds like. Not bad on the tick over there. We've heard this one many a time, so let's give it some gas. Pretty mean at that top end, sounding very nice. But let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what horsepower it is today, what its drag rating is, and get ready to take on the gravel track. We've got the off-road Dodge Charger on the dyno with its V8 Hemi 440 6-pack, 376 factory horsepower. How much have we added today, and what will its drag rating be? A gain of 332 horsepower, 89%. Definitely quite low, in all honesty, considering some of the high numbers we've had recently. Does bring us up to 707 horsepower, though, which is pretty good, and puts us in a 424 of the drag rating. If we were drag racing, but we're not. We're gravel tracking this beast today, with the goal of beating the flying lap of 1:41.646 from that VM Audi Quattro that we built. Gearbox tuning for this one, I've gone for a 3.75 ratio. Actually bringing it down a little bit. 60 kilometers an hour in first gear, 224 kilometers an hour in fourth gear. Didn't bother adding an extra gear. I don't think we're going to need it in the gravel track. No ECU on this one, but we do have 3 tuned carburetors all ready to go. Don't forget to check out the short up here for the easy tuning carburetor. Link in the description below, or just go and find the shorts on my channel. Now, one thing I will say about this Dodge Charger off-road, and it did take me roughly around 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, to figure this out, was I was having so much trouble tuning the gearbox. It was making no difference on the gravel track. And then eventually I went in and checked the config, and it's set to rear-wheel drive. So if you do want to play with this one on the gravel track, go into the car editor, change the config to a 4x4, and everything will run a lot better for you. Hopefully you don't waste 2 hours of your life trying to figure it out like I did. So let's get this beast onto the gravel track, try and beat that Audi Quattro 1:41.646. Can we do it for the flying lap? Let's go find out. Here we are then with the Dodge Charger off-roader on the gravel track. You know the drill by now. We do a standing lap and a flying lap. The goal today is to beat that virtual mechanic Audi Quattro that currently sits in the gravel track top spot with a 1:41.676 for its flying lap and a 1:43.698 for that standing. Hopefully we can beat both of them and get this one properly at the top. Now, bearing in mind, I did say just a minute ago you need to change the config files to 4x4. I have let Payne know, so hopefully he'll change the mod and you won't have to. But if I would just double check it, especially if you plan to take this one on the off-road track, because the gearbox tuning doesn't work for the off-roader on the off-road track. Still works if you're on the tarmac, but it doesn't quite deal with the off-road very well, so you might need to go in and change it. But let's get on with this. Let's try and beat the virtual mechanic Audi Quattro. Let's go! Dodge Charger off the line. Not bad, actually, off the line. I thought we were going to get stuck there a little bit, but we didn't, as we head into the first corner, slamming on the brakes, because it's quite a sharp one to get us all the way around there, but there we go. Actually, relatively nice. Slamming on the brakes for the final corner as we head down the home stretch and across the line. Not quite as good as... oh, no, better. There we go. Better than the Audi Quattro's standing lap. That does put us in a good stead as long as we don't mess up too badly on this flying lap. Theoretically, we may be able to beat it. Fingers crossed. Let's keep going. Slamming on the brakes for the first big U-turn as we come around into the jump section. Let's see how this turns out over the jump. Full power. Can we keep it down? No, I've let off in the air, but there we go. Slamming on the brakes a little bit on the other side. Just about managing to make it through there without dying. Keeping it going around this corner here, long corner. Slamming on the brakes because it sharpens up just a little bit at the end. And then we're coming in to the second U-turn. We're going to slam on the brakes and then hopefully power to let the car pull us round. Not the best there, but we made it through it. Now we need to come up to the next section, which is slightly uphill, which does lead us over the crest into the next U-turn, which is another big left-hander. So let's get on the brakes. Oh, we went a bit wide there. Not our quickest corner, but we are still alive. So we will count it. Let's keep going around. Narrow section. Don't clip the sides. You would definitely roll, especially in something top heavy like this. Pulling it all the way around into the forest section. No like to see anyway. Let's just make sure we don't mess up this first corner, because I'll be very upset if we did that. There we go. Around the first corner. We should be all right for the rest of it now. I'm not too bad in here. A little bit wide there, but we're still alive. Look for the marker. Brake a little bit. Let the car pull us around. Next marker, nice and easy, just little off the gas there, And then for the final corner, we're going to slam on the brakes. We go a little bit wide, but again, we're still alive. Get over the line. We haven't beat the Audi. I'm so disappointed by that. You will not believe. But there we go. We managed the standing in a 142.650 and the flying in a 142.262, and we were trying to beat 141.676. So we didn't quite manage to do it, but it should put it second or third on that gravel track board. So let's get back. Let's get it on the board. Let's get this beautiful car sold on for hopefully a little bit of profit. I may have been a tad bit off when I said second or third. It's actually fourth with a 142.262 for that flying lap. But they are so close. First to fourth. There's not even a second in it. That's absolutely fantastic. Was still definitely hoping to beat that Audi today, but we're not quite there yet. But that Dodge Charger off-roader, I had a lot of fun with it. It did stress me out a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Got very annoyed when I couldn't get this to drive off-road or get a gear change to work perfectly. Till I figured out that it just needed to be changed its settings to 4x4, and then it would be fine. We did brilliantly with it. We just lost it a little bit on our flying lap. Was not as good as our standing lap. So we couldn't quite make it into the first place or second place or even third. But there we go. Fourth place for the off-road Dodge Charger. Absolutely loving it. It is fantastic. Link in the description below if you want to grab this one yourself. Let's go see if we can sell it on for some profit. Black and red colour combination is always a good one. That engine looking fantastic in there. Absolutely loving it. But let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $16,695 and could have sold it at a loss of $1,541. We obviously didn't do that. We spent a further $64,743 upgrading, modifying, tuning and painting this beautiful car to how you see it now, putting our total spend at $81,438. Will there be some profit to be made from this beautiful Charger? Let's get in. Let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% complete. Looking fantastic. Definitely a lot of mileage. And I did add just a little bit on this one today. We did manage to tune that engine from 376 horsepower up to 707. A gain of 89%. Quite pleased with that. But we've definitely had a lot higher in previous videos, especially the more recent ones with the TK Aftermarket stuff. Pretty good nonetheless. But we spent $81,438. Is there some profit to be made? With a sale of $155,543, there definitely is. $74,105 profit to be exact. Absolutely love this one. Did stress me out, as I said, when I couldn't get it to drive properly, but we fixed it. And we had some fun with it. Closed door, thank you very much. So now it is time to say goodbye. Now, I've enjoyed this so much. It's been great. There is a link in the description below. Have some fun with it yourself. It took a lot of time to get this one painted like this. You have to take all these fenders off individually and paint them all separately. Rest of the bodywork, everything that's got a bit of red on it, basically had to come off and be painted separately to the rest of the car. So it was a lot of fun, but a little bit of work. But anyway, it's time to say goodbye. We'll take our cheeky bit of profit. Thank you very much. Now, you all know what the Friday is what's going to be next, so we'll be back with City Skylines for that one. But when we return to Car Mechanic Simulator, what are we going to be working on? Well, on Monday, this is the new mod from Lit. This is another Audi R8. Can we get close enough to access it? There we go. This is the Audi R8 TYP4S. I've got no idea, I'm not going to lie, but it's the 2023 Audi R8. We've gone for the Lit edition for this one today because it's a little bit wild. We got it from the auction house and, well, it's quite nice. It's nice to have a nice car for a change. We don't have to physically repair absolutely everything. We got a good car here, but did we get a good deal? We did as well. I bought it for $79,827 and could already sell it for $92,502, making a profit of $12,675. I'm so shocked I don't know what to do. But there we go. What do you think we should do with this Audi? Let me know if you want to see it round the round the racetrack, or if you want to see it on the drag strip. One of them two, because there's no point putting this one on the gravel track. Not unless we build an off-road config, and this is not one of them. The engine in this one is the V10 overhead valve MT8 engine with 768 horsepower, which we will be increasing. So make sure you join us back here on Monday for this beautiful Audi R8. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. But make sure you join us back on Friday and check us out playing a bit of City Skylines just for a little bit of fun. Something else to do. We're currently working on Vermandria, which is our modded city. So come and join us on Friday, see what you think of a bit of city skylines. But do make sure you join us back on Monday for that Audi R8. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all had a wonderful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I really do appreciate it. And like and subscribe if you want to. We've got plenty of stuff to leave comments about, so do make sure you leave a comment. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.